was, geez, I don't know how old. I want to say a kid, preteen probably, a gazillion years ago. It feels like. I'd have to go look at the date on the documentary to say for sure. But anyway, I watched a documentary about a guy named Dick Proenneke. Excuse me. He, over a course of a couple of years, built a cabin up in Alaska. If you don't know the story, it's a pretty amazing one. And then he ended up moving there and living there. Really great story, and there's the original documentary and at least one follow-up, maybe two. I downloaded it all maybe, I don't know, 3 years ago or something, and watched it again, and it's still fantastic. Did a great job. Anyway, one of the things, it's odd, I don't know why, but one of the things that stuck with me when I was a kid and watched it, if I think of all the amazing things he did, I don't know why this one stuck in my head, but is he just grabbed a piece of firewood one day and carved himself a wooden spoon. And as a kid, I always thought that was really neat. And it always stayed in the back of my mind. Every once in a blue moon, it would pop in my head. Obviously didn't think about it often, but piling firewood or something, it would pop in my head if I saw a nice piece of wood. I thought, well, why not do it? Like, it's been in my head for this time, so I've never tried really carving anything. With even just whittling with a knife. I'm sure I did it a couple of times again when I was younger, but never really did anything with it. So this is my attempt. I'm going to take this piece of maple that was left over from another project I did. I made a sign, I think. I don't even know if I did a video of it. A little bear sign, a black bear in relief. Anyway, it had nice straight grain, as you can see as I'm splitting it here. No real big knots in it or anything. Nice tight, no rot, nothing like that. So I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, here's a nice piece of wood. I'll try it with this. So, as I said, I've never done this before. Don't really know what I'm doing. Didn't really have my tools picked out, how I was going to do this, until I kind of got going. Just as things felt right, I tried those. You can see I tried a couple different things here and there. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. Anyway, I ended up with a spoon at the end that is not that far off from kind of what I had in mind. I wanted a big chunky handle, and as you'll see, you probably saw the thumbnail, I definitely got a big chunky handle out of it. If I was doing this again, I'd make the handle a little bit longer. That's really the only thing I think I'd change on it. I really like it, big, thick, chunky, meaty spoon, as opposed to the ones you buy in a wooden spoon in the store are kind of spindly. No particular reason that I wanted that, just I thought that would be neat. And if I turned out that I don't end up using it in the kitchen, I'll hang on the wall somewhere. I usually, when I do these videos, I'll cut out a lot of the boring parts, me sanding or me just doing something repetitive. In this particular case, I'm going to leave most of it in, and I'll speed it up probably 20 times. So it'll look pretty quick, but I want to leave it all in just so you can see all the steps of this from beginning to end. So I'll only cut out things where I'm walking away or whatever. So let's get going. This is my attempt at carving a spoon with no knowledge of what I'm doing whatsoever. Wish me luck. All right, so spoon is all made. Gotta try it out. Make sure it works before we finish off the video. This is probably a week and a half or 2 weeks after I actually made the spoon. Finally getting around to trying it out for the first time. Gonna make a little soup. Frying up some onions and garlic first. I've got some stock that I made the last time I cooked one of the geese that my friends shot over in PEI last year. I made some stock from the bird carcass when it was done, froze it, so just got it in the microwave there thawing out. Should make a really tasty soup. I've never even done it with Canada geese before. I've done it with turkeys and chickens and stuff, of course, but so I'm curious to see how this is going to taste. Ooh, not even close. Starting to brown up, turn nice and translucent. Let's go a little bit longer. So I'm going to make a it's going to start out anyway being a vegetable soup. I might go down to the freezer and get some venison and chuck it in. I'll see what it tastes like. Excuse me. So I'm just going to put some just a bean soup mixture you can buy anywhere, store, bulk barn, whatever. It's all pretty much the same thing. But I find it really adds a lot of flavor and stuff to the soup. We'll get those softening up as soon as this is ready. Oh yeah, getting close. It's starting to really look good. And then once we get all the beans and the liquid in there, we'll just let it bring it to a boil, and then we'll let it simmer for 45 minutes or so until everything's softened up, the beans, I mean. Then we'll add in the vegetables and let those cook as long as they take. And what I'll put in, haven't been in the grocery store in a while, probably be frozen vegetables, and I've got potatoes here. It's probably the only fresh vegetable I have. Pretty sad, empty cupboard. And we'll see what what it tastes like with the goose stock. And if I think it'll go with some venison meat, or if it needs it, I'll throw some in. Otherwise, it'll be a vegetable bean stew. So far, the old spoon is doing his job. I'm going to throw this half melted stock in here. The stock ice still in it. Generally, it's about 4 to 1 liquid to beans. Or something close to that, and then it's enough to cook them up. Then adjust them at the end. Alright, so that's 3 things of water plus the stock, which is about the same amount. That's plenty to cook and soften those beans. Just scraping the bottom here to make sure I get all the good bits of cooked onion and garlic off there so they don't burn on there, and I get all the good flavors. Caramelized onions and garlic. Yum yum. Alright. Rinse off garlic bits. Okay, I'm just going to bring this to a boil, and I'm going to simmer it for 45 minutes. We'll be back. All right, we're 10 minutes in. Just gonna check and make sure nothing's sticking. Good, nothing's sticking to the bottom. Yum, yum, smells good. Okay, things are thickening up nicely. Look at that, nice. Needs some color though, need some vegetables in there. Really don't know what I have. I'll have to look at that. Doesn't really matter what I have. Whatever I have is what it's getting. Okay, spoon's holding up well. Let's see, it's definitely a hand done job. You can see some marks in it. I purposely didn't sand it all out. I wanted it to look handmade. I think it's a good mixture of smooth and nice and obviously handmade. Good. Anyway, soup's coming along. Spoon's working. All good so far. Actually, you know what? I'm going to throw... I saw this up there. I've got some diced tomatoes up there. I'm going to throw those in too. That's a little bit more liquid. Plus tomatoes. You need tomatoes in a soup. I guess you don't need them, but why wouldn't you put tomatoes in a soup? Diced tomatoes. Oh, it's good. That won't need too much spice at all. That goose stock is really flavorful. I'll put a little cayenne in there. I tend to like lots of heat in my food. A little bit of summer savory, but not too much. I'll leave it a little bit before I start spicing it up. I don't want to cook the flavor out of the spices too far. All right. Leave it for another 10 minutes. Thanks for watching and have a great day.